Hey everybody, this week's weekly video, we're going to go over an exercise that is not so common in the gym, at home, etc., is the overhead squat. This is a humbling exercise to say the least, a big reason for why a lot of people don't do it. However, it's also a very beneficial exercise to both mobility and core strength, shoulder stability. So more or less, generally a full body movement that I highly recommend, if not in your workouts, at least as part of your warm-up. Our assistant today, Danica, we're gonna kind of go through some of the progressions of the overhead squat. First off, I'm gonna have her find, the big question is where do my hands go on the bar in terms of width? Okay, what I'm gonna have her do is pull the bar up to the crease of the hip. Okay, and then I want her to widen her hands out so that when she lifts her knee, go ahead and lift the knee, it doesn't raise the bar. Okay, so she can go a little wider with the hands, maybe right there, lift the knee, doesn't raise the bar. Let's go narrow a little bit. Good, right there. Now when she brings that up overhead, you can see she's about 4 to 6 inches above the head. There's lots of formulas for how you find the width of an overhead squat for the hands. 4 to 6 inches above the head. The crease of the hip, obviously limb lengths are definitely gonna change those formulas. So find something that works for you. Okay, so from here, overhead squat, she's overhead. I want her to engage her upper back, those scapular retractors. Okay, so the upper back is tight and engaged, not overactive in the traps. Okay, I don't want her shrugging up into the traps here. That's going to cause the bar to move forward. Okay, I just want her tight and engaged, retracted. The bar I want over her ears. Okay, so that way the bar is actually following the midline from the ears all the way down through, and when you'll see at full depth, the bar is actually over the ankles or close to it, keeping that we're true to that midline, maintaining that midline. Stance-wise, typical squat stance, she's a little wider than her hips. Toes out slightly is favorable, okay, just slightly, a couple degree, and again, that's something that is, that will alter depending on the individual and their limb length. Go ahead and let's go through a couple reps real slow. She drops, she stays back in the heels. Good, let's keep the back tight. Good, and the bar stays steady. Now a lot of people who have a hard time with their shoulder, you can let the bar down, the shoulder mobility isn't there, okay? When they get to the bottom, that's the toughest part of the lift. That bar is going to want to pull forward. This can be a couple things. Shoulder stability is the big one, and so it's important that we really train the retractors in the upper back so that we can maintain that good scapular retracted position. The other thing is that tight pecs. If we're anteriorly too tight and everything is pulling us forward, which many human beings are, then that will also pull at the bottom, okay? So it'll be very hard to achieve full depth if either of those things are an issue. The last and one very important one is that in terms of core strength, we're actually taking your center of gravity and raising it from just sub-navel to actually up a little bit higher, so the low back is taking much more of the stability and trunk stability load than it typically would. So a couple other progressions here. Again, we just have a dowel. As soon as you up the load a whole lot, a dowel PVC pipe, great starting point. What I'll do is I'm going to have her come over to the wall. One thing that I'll have clients do is, again, go ahead up overhead. She finds her width. She's going to start facing the wall, and she's going to get as close as she can. Go ahead, go through a squat, and this gives her some feedback as to, Danica has pretty good range of motion. We've trained through this, okay? Somebody that didn't have it, go ahead down, I want you to tip forward just a little bit. So the bar will tip, their head will turn, they'll try to sit back, the bar will touch, then all you gotta do is back up. Good, go ahead, and then they can see, they can kind of gauge progress that way. Okay, so overhead squat, if you're not doing it now, start doing it. And like I said, to start out with, throw it into your warm-ups. Okay, grab a dowel, grab a PVC pipe, about 3/4 inch diameter. Throw these into your warm-ups. 100% of our clients and athletes are doing overhead squats. in their warm-ups. Okay, great warm-up exercise, and then as you progress, it's an awesome tool to add to your strength work as well. That's it.